The other thing I wanted to share with you is the third way. Remember the Democratic Leadership Council? Harold Ford Jr., I saw him on TV today. He used to be the head of the DLC. And the Democratic Leadership Council used to be basically the corporate-owned Democrats. They were the shills for Wall Street and for the big corporations. And they went out of business, basically. The DLC vanished, I believe. And they've been replaced by a group called the Third Way. And the Third Way just published this op-ed actually a few weeks ago. They published an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. And they just put up another one, apparently, condemning Elizabeth Warren. Hunter is blogging about this today. Actually, so is Coase. So is Marcos Melitsas over the Daily Coase. And this is from the Wall Street Journal op-ed. They say, if you talk to leading progressives these days, you'll be sure to hear this message. Now, the Third Way is supposed to be Democrats talking to Democrats, right? This is what they're pretending they are. If you talk to leading progressives these days, you'll be sure to hear this message. The Democratic Party should embrace the economic populism of New York Mayor-elect Bill de Blasio and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. Such economic populism, they argue, should be the guiding star for Democrats heading into 2016. Nothing would be more disastrous for Democrats. Okay, this is what they're saying in their op-ed in the Wall Street Journal. They go on to say the political problems of liberal populism are bad enough. Worse are the actual policies proposed by the left-wing populists. And they go on to rant about how, if we just raised taxes on rich people and closed up some corporate loopholes, we could pay for everything and invest in K through 12 education and infrastructure and health research and clean energy and break up some of the big banks. And oh my God, and they're presenting this as the liberal fantasy, right? Having forgotten apparently that this is how this country worked for 40 years. They go on to say Social Security is Exhibit A of this populist political and economic fantasy. Social Security, really? Oh, that's right. They don't want to raise the cap. Who the hell is this group, this Third Way, right? This Third Way that is now Democrats preaching to Democrats about how to be good Democrats and how to win elections. Who are these people? They go on and on and on. I recommend to you, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I recommend to you Marcos's piece titled Corporate Dems Cutting Social Security as a Path to Electoral Victory. But then it gets really interesting. Hunter, who is one of the more prolific bloggers over at Daily Coase, points out that the Democratic organization Third Way is going after Elizabeth Warren. All right. Surprise, surprise. And he asks the question, he or she, I don't know the gender of Hunter, but why would the Third Way, a very reasonable and centrist organization that just wants both parties to get along and agree to cut Social Security, Medicare, and other social programs, why would they be so worked up about Elizabeth Warren? I mean, the Third Way is about cutting Social Security, isn't it? That whole chain CPI thing and stuff like that. So Hunter then publishes a list of the board of trustees of the Third Way, along with their professions. Let me just read this to you. The chairman is John Vogelstein. He is an investment banker. The chairman emeritus is Bernard Schwartz. He is an investment banker. The vice chairman is David Heller. He is an investment banker. Georgette Bennett is on the board. Her job is not described. William Bunninger is a CEO. David Coulter is on the board. He is an investment banker. Lewis Coleman is an investment banker. William Daley is an investment banker. John Dyson is an investment banker. Robert Dyson is an investment banker. Andrew Feldstein is an investment banker. Brian Frank is an investment banker. Michael Goldberg is an investment banker. Peter Joseph is an investment banker. Derek Coppin is an investment banker. Derek Kirkland is an investment banker. Ronald Kane is an investment banker. Peter Lewis is a CEO. Thurgood Marshall Jr. is an investment banker. Herbert Miller is a CEO in real estate. Michael Novogratz is an investment banker. Andrew Parmentier is an investment banker. Kirk Raid is an investment banker. Howard Rossman is an investment banker. Barbara Manfrey Vogelstein is an investment banker. And Joseph Zimlick is an investment banker. In fact, the only members of the Third Way Board of Trustees who are not investment bankers or CEOs are Ted Trimpa, Susan McHugh, Georgette Bennett, and Jonathan Cowan, as far as I can tell from looking at this list. So these are the guys who are telling us that running Elizabeth Warren or Bernie Sanders, I mean, you can't run Bernie Sanders as a Democrat unless he decides that he's going to become one. But running Elizabeth Warren or running somebody like Elizabeth Warren or running Elizabeth Warren for vice president even is bad, stupid politics for the Democratic Party. Elizabeth Warren is not the kind of person who's going to win elections for Democrats. And her policies are bad policies. And if you don't believe it, just read their op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, which all Democrats read, of course, don't they? Actually, all investment bankers read, but, anyway. Yeah. The third way. Third way, didn't Bill Clinton invent that phrase? That thing? The third way? I don't think it had to do with this. I think it was a whole separate thing. Bill Clinton, I think net, he made a lot of mistakes, but he was probably a pretty good president. Certainly better than the alternative. Holy cow! Can you imagine Bob Dole? I mean, we knew what a disaster George Herbert Walker Bush was, but Bob Dole was John McCain on meds, right? But Bob Dole was like, he was a rational version of John McCain. John McCain just kind of goes bah! and just explodes and goes crazy. Bob Dole was John McCain. In other words, he was the irascible old guy who's out there yelling, "Get off my lawn." He just doesn't yell it quite as loudly. Anyway, thank goodness. And think how far to the right the Supreme Court would be. Whew, even worse. Had Bill Clinton never been president. So anyhow, the question, first of all, have you had an experience with Obamacare? I'm curious to hear. I have a family member and a friend. One of my very closest friends, he and his wife signed up successfully, got a good deal. And one of my kids signed up successfully, got a good deal. Have you had any experience of that? And I wanted to tell you about the third way.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
So from now on, whenever you hear third way, just think investment banker because they're really synonymous, largely.